Hi viewers, I'm Ava and welcome to CAN-TV. This afternoon I'm here, I'm your host as always for Greater West Town. Today we'll be talking about the woodworking program, and we have two of our students here to answer some of your questions and to give you insight as to how the program operates. So I'm going to go right to the overhead, and even though it reads shipping and receiving, the vital information is for you to obtain the address and the location. So this is at Greater West Town. Greater West Town, the address is 500 North Sacramento Boulevard, Chicago, Illinois. The zip code is 60612, and the number you should dial is 312-563-9570. Again, that's the Greater West Town training location. Okay, the information of the programs that we have to offer, some of the questions can be answered by going to the website as well, which is the World Wide Web, or we're also on Facebook, so you can reach out there. You can also email us if you like. But for right now, I'm going to bring up one of our guests who's in our woodworking program, and come on up and have a seat. I'd like to introduce you to our audience. Hi there.
Hi,
Introduce yourself to the audience.
my name is Elena Crow, and I'm in the woodworking training program at Greater West.
Elena, how do you like the program so far?
It's awesome. It's super hands-on, and it's a small group, so we get a lot of individual instruction. Everybody's super supportive, and it's just it's an incredible opportunity.
Okay, so you're learning a lot of hands-on. Do you feel intimidated by, normally this is a man's world, saying, power tools and...
It definitely is one of those things where I felt like I was worried before I came into it that it would be a little bit biased, because it's something that I've dealt with I think my whole life. But it doesn't feel that way at all. In fact, everyone's very supportive and accepting, and sees each other as fellow students and co-workers. We're all a group, and we're all in it together. If you have any questions, if you seem unsure, not only do the instructors, but also the other students are very quick to jump in
and help out
and be supportive and let you know that it's okay to mess up, it's okay to ask questions. We're all in this together, and we're all trying to learn.
So it's a team effort on everyone's part.
Absolutely, yeah.
Have you had any, first of all, how many weeks in are you into the training program?
So we are on our 4th week right now. I actually came in a little bit late, so I'm doing a little bit of catching up right now, but
Okay.
yeah, we're in our 4th week of a 15-week program.
Okay. Have you had some of the challenges that you've had to meet since you've been in the woodworking?
Probably brushing up on my mathematics. Definitely been a big thing. Brushing up on my measurements and reading rulers and stuff like that. And then just learning new equipment and all the setup. It's very particular, and everything's got to be very, very precise. And so learning a bunch of different large equipment that can be very, very dangerous definitely feels like a little bit of pressure, but in the long run it's going to be just awesome experience that I'm really glad that I had the opportunity, and I'm glad that we're taking it slow and learning everything correctly. So that we can go and get that practice later on. But right now we're learning how to use all this equipment correctly and set it up and use all the amenities on the equipment to be able to set it up to streamline things. So
Okay,
that's really
so there's safety measurements in place. So is there in order to operate this tool, it's just pointed out, or are there instructions in reference to the safety measurements that you have to meet before you can operate it?
So before we operate any machines, we have safety protocols and rules. We need to take a safety test for each machine, each piece of equipment. So for instance, the drill press, we learn all the safety measurements, all the operations protocols that are in place, and then we take a written test on them to make sure, and you have to get 100% before you're allowed to operate
Move on to the
piece of
next.
equipment, because it's very important that you know this protocol and that you're able to operate everything correctly and safely.
Okay, if there's something that you would want the viewers to know, or especially the women out there, what would you tell them? What would you suggest?
Definitely don't be afraid to go for it, and don't be intimidated by if you feel like it's a male-dominated field, or if it's like there's not a lot of women in it, it shouldn't be intimidating, because especially here with this group at Greater Westtown, there is no sense of like being pushed out. It's just like there are fewer women applying and fewer women entering into the program because it's just imbalanced, but it doesn't mean that it's within the program that there's any kind of prejudice or any kind of favoritism one way or the other. In fact, it's such a safe and comforting group that I would definitely, like, if you're a woman looking to get into woodworking or manufacturing at all, this is an excellent group to be a part of, for sure.
So it's not that they're being pushed out, it's just a matter of not knowing
Well, there's a
that
lack
this
of
is
women in the
available.
field to begin with, but it's not being, especially not here. I can't speak for other programs, but at Greater Westtown, it's not that women are being pushed out or that men are being favored. It's just that there are fewer applicants and fewer women who know that this field is available to them.
Okay, so with that, we're going to go and see if the overhead is working for them to obtain the information as to where they need to go and what they need to do for the enrollment into the program. So, once again, the information is up there. So there the information is. Even though it reads shipping and receiving, it should read woodworking training for the Greater Westtown Training Partnership Project. Our location is 500 North Sacramento Boulevard, Chicago, Illinois, 60610, and the phone number is 312-563-9570. So you have two other ways that you can reach us as well. One is by email in the World Wide Web, and also on Facebook. So actually there's three. So now we have another student that I'd like to introduce you to, and go ahead and introduce yourself to the callers.
Hello everyone, my name is Patrick Isom and I'm part of the woodworking program as well.
Welcome, Patrick, and thank you for being our guest here on CAN-TV
Thank you.
for the Greater Westtown. So how have you enjoyed the program since you've enrolled?
It's been great. I've really been going full speed ahead with everything. I've always loved woodworking to begin with, and so for me to have found this program is just amazing. Especially since it's free. It's free. You can't beat that. You can't beat it.
So how did you find out about Greater Westtown?
Honestly, I stumbled across a flyer walking to work in my own neighborhood. It was on the ground, a little dirtied up, and it said build. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's exactly what I want to do. And so I picked it up and I called, and here I was, a week later.
So you took full advantage of picking up the little dirty piece of paper?
I did. I really did, because woodworking had been on my mind, has been in the works, and I was just waiting for the right opportunity or something that I could fall into that worked perfect with my schedule. So
That's great.
yeah.
And Patrick, I'm going to give them some information in reference to the steps that need to be taken in order to enroll into the Greater Westtown Training Project. We're a non-for-profit organization, so the program is free. The qualifying questions that you may be asking is the minimum age requirement is at least 18 years of age, low income. Once you come into the orientation, you will submit your application if you think that this program is for you. After your application, then there's a TABE testing. You have to score at least a 6th grade level for math as well as for reading. After the TABE testing, then there's your interview. After the interview, then there's a drug screening. And of course, we want it to be drug-free. So those would be the requirements that you would have to meet in order to qualify for the program, for the woodworking program, whether it's woodworking or shipping and receiving. And those would be the qualifications that you'd need. And you need to call and make reservations for the orientation. So woodworking's orientation is every Tuesday at 8:45. Same location, 500 North Sacramento Boulevard. So Patrick, have you had any obstacles or met any obstacles since you've been enrolled in the program?
Well, not necessarily. The only obstacle I say that I've had to get around was just learning about the program late, and so I'm just catching up. So that's one main obstacle, is just trying to make sure that I'm on track for the program and that I'll graduate with everyone on time. And other than that, just time management. which is a big thing for
you?
everything in life. So just making sure you're getting up on time and just dedicating yourself wholeheartedly to the program.
So can you see beyond what you're doing now, say, past this point, say graduation, after graduation and job placement, what do you have in mind?
Well, I'm very interested in furniture making, but I know that the program offers some job opportunities afterwards, so it's really wide open for me at the moment. We're learning a lot about cabinet making and shelving and that sort of thing, so that's definitely an area I want to be into. General construction for homes, new renovations or things like that.
Okay, so is everyone there? I know everybody has their own learning curve and their own, say, timing, so to speak, but do you find that everyone is all working together, or is it some going faster than others? Is it like the same pace for everyone?
It definitely is the same pace. Of course, we have some students that go a little faster or already know the material at hand. But like Lainey was saying, it does feel like a family, you know, and we're all helping each other get to the end result. You know, we all want to see each other graduate and that sort of thing. So
That's great. So you do have other classes just besides staying in the shop. You have classes like, say, for
Definitely.
English and
math,
and math.
language, and measurements, and all sorts of things like that.
Okay, so give me a typical day, starting from beginning and try to take me through to the end. How is your day when
Okay.
you come in for woodworking?
Well, today we started off in the shop. We continued on making our we're making a few boxes, I guess you could say, or cabinets. Beginning cabinets, not really the front, but just the sides and the back. So we started off with that right off the bat. Then after we went to measurements. So we went to really to reinforce the ruler and being very precise with our measurements. Then shortly after, we were in computer lab. So that's where we learn how to build resumes and how to use various programs that will help us towards our woodworking goals. And then towards the end of the day, we had print reading. So all about blueprinting, the key words, things to know, how to write them, how to read them. And so that's how we ended our day.
So you're actually doing drafting as well as along with the blueprint reading?
We haven't jumped into making our own things just yet, but I'm very sure that we're going to jump into that come, the middle portion of the program.
Okay.
Yeah, so no drafting just yet.
Okay. So Patrick, if you had something to say to the viewers about this program and what it means to you, what would you say?
I would say that they should definitely try to apply. No matter what they feel may be in the way, this is a great opportunity to take some steps towards bettering your life, your career. Also for older individuals trying to get into something new, this is definitely be a great opportunity for them. We do have we have a few older individuals in our program as well, and they're doing it right along with us. So
Keeping right
no
in pace.
age.
Keeping right in pace
Yeah.
with you. Okay, that's
Age
good.
is not an issue at all. So
That's good.
Definitely.
That's good to hear. Because I mean, with now in today's world, there's a lot of people being laid off for one reason or another, or factories closing up. So this would be good for them to apply, and then there's job placement afterwards for those that like to work with their hands and then see that there is a structured foundation for them to plateau or platform off of, that they're not just learning the skill and then they're stuck finding their own. They would actually be placed on a job.
Yeah. So to sum everything up, I would say just take advantage. There's so many opportunities within this program, around the city, and just got to keep your eyes and ears open, honestly, and that's how I found it. So, yeah, take advantage.
Okay, thank you so much for having
Thank
me.
you.
So what I'm going to do right now is put the overhead on so that they can get the information again.
All right.
And here you have it on the screen. It may read shipping and receiving, but it's the woodworking program for the Greater Westtown Training Partnership. In a few minutes, I'm going to introduce Mr. Charlie Negron. He's one of the instructors, and he's going to give us some more insight as to what goes on actually at the Greater Westtown Training Facility for woodworking and those that want to join. So here's the information. Jot it down. The address never changes. It's 500 North Sacramento Boulevard, Chicago, Illinois, 60612. The phone number is 312-563-9570. You have 3 other forms of contact. You have Facebook, the World Wide Web, and email. So with that, get on the phone, make your reservations for the orientation, which is every Tuesday at 8:45. So here I am with Charlie Negron. He's one of our instructors. How you doing,
I've been
Charlie?
in the back listening to you.
Yeah,
You're doing a fantastic job.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Charlie, can you give our viewers some insight on what you expect from a person that has enrolled into the Greater Westtown Training?
I'm expecting people just like Elena and Patrick, people who are looking to really learn a new craft. Some people come in with different skills, and people have this. Usually that first day they have this wide-eyed thing like, wow, this, I'm going to be able to make stuff. And that's what we're looking for. We're looking for qualities that any employer would look at. Somebody who's punctual, somebody who's reliable, energetic, somebody's not afraid to get their hands dirty, right? With those qualities, you could be successful in anything. So when students are coming or people are inquiring about our training program, we're looking at them and seeing, a couple of things. How are they going to be able to work with each other as a class? And are they going to be overwhelmed, or is this going to be a good fit? Meaning overwhelmed is, somebody who might not have the soft skills, right, to come into the training program, and all of a sudden, they're having issues or problems and stuff. One of them is punctuality, or maybe some of the math that we're doing, they're not ready for that, and all of a sudden we start implementing those things, and it's like, oh my gosh, you kind of see that they're struggling a little bit. But, usually for a training, what we want to do is just make sure that when people come in that they're successful. So when we're training students, we try to start at a base level for everybody, and then we'll slowly start building up those skills. So don't worry if you have all of those skills. What we want to try to do is help implement that, or try to draw that out for me, because I think most people have a natural talent to kind of either work with their hands or do some type of creative work. Not that they're going to be doing their own stuff. We have stuff for them to do, but that always helps. That kind of, again, that wide-eyed wonderment of learning a new skill, new machine, and that pride that somebody has when they can see a finished product and say, wow, I made that.
I've done that.
Yeah.
So let me go back just for the viewers. From my understanding, you also accept those that may have a barrier, and the minimum grade level is a 6th grade level.
6th grade, right.
Okay.
Yep. And I would say maybe 10 to 20% of a class, typical class, are ex-offenders. So if there's people out there thinking that they might have a barrier and they might not be accepted, the only thing you can do is come in and try. And most likely we have worked with people, ex-offenders, and there's really great success stories out there of people. And again, with anybody who might have a barrier and stuff like that, come in. If you have those same attributes, most likely you'll be successful on the job also.
So my other question is, or my next question is, so you have instructors there to bring them up, to bring their grade levels up, and you take ex-offenders. What type of jobs, after they completed this program, are being offered to the students that graduate, go through the whole?
The whole gamut? Well, there's actually like 5 fields of woodworking. One of them is working lumber mills. So there's a few of them still in the city, or in the suburbs, I should say. There is cabinet making, which is pretty typical of a lot of shops. That's stuff that goes in your homes, right? Kitchen cabinets, uppers, lowers, things, vanities and stuff in the washroom. There's architectural millwork. Usually when I say that, people's eyes, just kind of stop. What's that mean? That's anything that is bolted down and can't be moved. So a church is a pretty good example of architectural millwork. Pews, paneling, office buildings downstairs. There's musical instruments. We have placed students in companies that work with musical instruments, and the last one, solid surface materials. So basically, that's like countertops and things of that nature.
Okay, so like an example would be this table
Yeah,
that we're sitting at.
right. This table is laminated. So this is one of the things that the students are working on now, and I think Patrick was mentioning that they were making cabinets. So they're basically learning construction methods right now. So 4 different boxes. They're going to be all the same, but joined together using different joinery methods. And then the last thing they'll do is actually take a couple of those and apply laminate all the way around. So this, just like this tabletop, is actually a kind of a laminate. So they get a little bit of that, and we'll progress into making a cabinet that's actually using veneer. So they get a little bit more skill level using some techniques that some higher end shops might be using. They'll learn how to process lumber to make parts. And then we'll introduce them to solid surface materials, which is a Korean product, so basically another type of materials for solid surface. And they'll probably end up with one last project, and we're not sure what that might be at the moment.
So, what about introducing the students to some of the employers? Do you ever take them on field trips?
We do. So that's one of the things that I'm working with right now with some of the employers is to, we got to wrap this up in a little bit. So we're going to work with a couple of employers to kind of see if we can go ahead and do a tour. So that way the students get a good view of what's actually the industry is kind of working on and stuff, kind of see a realistic environment.
So yeah, that's nice that they'll get the exposure as to what to expect when they're actually placed on a job. So before we go, viewers, we're going to give you the information again on the overhead, so have your pen and paper ready. Also be sitting by the phone so that you can call and make your reservations for orientation. So here it is. It's the Greater Westtown Training Partnership. The location for the woodworking is 500 North Sacramento Boulevard, Chicago, Illinois, 60612. The number to dial in order to make your reservations for orientation is 312-563-9570. Again, this is a great opportunity. The program is free. I can't stress that enough. This program is free. They even have supported services set in place. So if you need a bus card or a gas card to get there, they've got you covered. And women, pick up that phone, dial that number. If you want to cut your honey-do list in half, this is the way to do it. Take advantage of this. Don't be intimidated. Thank you for watching CAN-TV.
Thank you for Pat and Elena for coming on and being our guests. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you again, viewers out there in CAN-TV world. Okay?